Last post on Perplexity for today, I promise. Mostly because I got other things to do, but let's continue. Perplexity has now done a lot of these deals. They did a deal with Samsung to be on all Samsung devices. They've done a deal with SK Telecom in Korea. They've done a deal with Airtel in India, all to package Perplexity by default into the devices or into the carrier apps. And unfortunately, I know a thing or two about these things. I say unfortunately because during my Rizzle days, we've spent months and months talking to Samsung and other device makers for exactly the same kind of thing. So the way this entire thing works, people like Samsung, they go and make deals with so many different apps, and they just care mostly about the revenue that comes from it. And what they give in return is some kind of minimum number of opens or impressions or whatever. That math, when you really look into it, doesn't work out. As in, most of the apps that come installed by default on the device or as part of the carrier are seen as bloatware. And honestly, they are bloatware. Now, Samsung will only do this on their low end devices because they know that their high end shoppers will just drop their devices like hot potatoes if they started putting default apps on them. So they will choose very carefully for their high end devices. They'll put only a very small number of apps, and those have to be like major strategic partnerships. They also will only do this in emerging markets where people are more tolerant to bloatware. So the device placements has become some kind of a shady deal making thing, which doesn't result in the best outcome or ROI for the apps that are taking this up. But when you have a lot of money, you are willing to throw money at a lot of different things to see what the outcome can be for you. And that's what Perplexity is doing. But precisely because of bloatware, well, also because of bloatware, Samsung has been seen as not as elite a brand as Apple, for example. Look, from my videos, it may seem like I diss Perplexity a lot. I have a lot of respect for their capabilities and their user experience and product skills. They were one of the first movers in the AI market to bring search to market, even before OpenAI saw the vision of incorporating search into their LLMs. It just unfortunately happens to be one of those things that has now become part of all the LLMs in a way that Perplexity cannot differentiate themselves. Also, mad respect for turning something that wasn't working half the time into a viral product. I say that because AI search, even today, doesn't work well. Even Google's AI overview is broken half the time. And Google search powers Perplexity. And from day one, their search results were not great. But they figured out if they showed the right citations, people would be satisfied with that. And that exactly happened. So hats off to their user experience and product skills, honestly.